While we're here, guys, is anyone actually listening? The guy who just spoke then?
Who, me?
You just, so, how do you explain tides on a flat Earth thing?
There's many other theories, or there's some other theories.
Okay, I want
Whoa,
to
whoa,
hear
whoa,
these.
whoa, whoa, whoa. What? Why? Why do we have to explain it? Right. So I've just spent 25 minutes with you, and you haven't conceded that your religion is bullshit. You're now demanding that he explains it. If
Yeah,
you
what's this
hold
debate?
on, stop talking. I haven't finished my sentence. You're so rude, Jimmy. Everything I get accused of, you're doing. It's amazing. So, Jimmy, before you ask him to explain it, and he doesn't have to, right? I want you to concede that your religious belief is flawed.
Hit the Jeopardy theme, Nathan.
Let's just let the pressure stay. Let the silence roll.
Jimmy, just spit it out. Don't be afraid.
Just let him. Give him chance. Concede, Jimmy. Your religion was ripped apart. Why won't you concede it? I want to know.
Your opinion. Just your opinion on your little country.
No. No. Not at all. I've ripped apart the Cavendish experiment, which you have just declared at the end of the show is proof of gravity. It's been ripped apart. It's not scientific proof of anything. Yeah? We gave every reason. And now you're saying, give me your explanation without conceding that there's a glaring hole in it. I.e. your test, the sideshow that is the Cavendish experiment.
You understand the laws of...
Oh, I'm not allowed to finish, am I? Right. Get out of my hangout, Jimmy. You're a prick. You won't concede because you're a globehead asshole. That's why you won't concede. We all know it. You're demanding the other people give us explanations after you have literally spent 25 minutes having the absolute garbage you assert ripped apart and then not conceding that you're wrong. And that, to me, is just, you're a disingenuous prick. Get out. Bye-bye, Jimmy. You're a dick.
Na 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 na. Hey, shout out to CGI Ranty over here.
There's two CGI Ranties.
Only one real
Clone.
I want CGI and Ranted to speak, actually. I want to hear his voice or her voice.
Well, he's asked not to be blocked. He's got a question for Nathan.
Well, maybe he should speak it so we can hear it.
Let's hear you, CGI.
Is Nathan still on?
Yeah.
I'm mulling around in this break, but yeah.
Well, I didn't get to ask all my questions. Are you on break, or are you coming back, or is that it for
We're on
the day?
break. I feel really bad, actually. My frustration with Jimmy is the reason I kicked him out, and I know you had more questions, and all you needed was a Glober to corner, so I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to ask you.
Oh, right.
I think you thought I was a Glober at first.
No, not at all. It's only in the aftermath that I appreciate what you were trying to do. So you need somebody with the religious belief to say, yeah, of course the moon attracts. And for me, it's like, no, as soon as we get into this argument, I'll point out where the formological fallacy lies, because that's the root of the demolition of that argument. But once you've got somebody admitting that the moon pulls, then you can take a different tact, of course, and you can rip them apart based on their religious belief, which I very rudely did for you after you'd made a very good point, so my bad.
I think you're a Vulcan, Nathan.
What? A Vulcan?
A Vulcan.
Like
you're motivated by pure logic.
Maybe.
Well, my question, let me ask you this. Did Cavendish came up with a gravitational constant, is that correct?
Jesus. Yeah, you get big G.
So Cavendish came up with G using the lead balls, is that correct?
Yeah.
I know there's an assumption in there somewhere. Which I haven't looked at it in a while. What exactly did he do to come up with big G?
He watched balls being attracted to each other. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. You need. I can't do this job well.
Just wondering how he contrived the gravitational constant based on, the angle the light produced or whatever. There had to be some kind of horse crap in there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know what you want me to say. Cavendish and Newton, they're like, what's the hand in glove? Is that the right term? The two go side by side. The one confirms the other, etc., etc.
It's all bullshit. I don't know. None of this shit. Nothing makes sense. I don't know.
Would it be okay? To come up with G, did he assume the mass of the Earth, or maybe a measurement of the Earth, or something?
Well, yeah. If you want to give it its exact description of what he was trying to do, he was trying to give you the mass of the Earth or weigh the Earth. That's what he's trying to do, and from that they extract G.
Okay, so did he use Aristophanes?
Well, you're already under the assumption that you're on a ball. Yes, absolutely. He's trying to weigh
I'm
that
sorry,
ball.
I should have done my research before I did this. I was just...
It's all right.
So he assumed that diameter, which I think works for a flat Earth as well.
Well, radius, yeah. You're already well into being on a ball.
Okay, so is that a circular reasoning?
Well,
Pre-assumption of ball or globe?
Yeah, essentially 99% of their arguments are affirming the consequent, yes. So they're always a logical fallacy. They're always begging the question. You'll always start with, assuming that we're on a ball, then blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Therefore, we're on a ball. That's what they'll always do. It's always starting from the presupposition that you're on a sphere. Every argument they'll ever have. You find me one that isn't. I haven't. You know, a couple of shows, maybe 10 or 20 shows ago, maybe, I had said to somebody, I must have put the percentage lower, because I thought, well, there must be some arguments out there that aren't an affirming the consequent. Well, yeah, you try and find me one.
And then they send some rockets up in the 40s and 50s, and they say like, holy shit, this is in the ball we thought all these hundreds of years. What are we gonna do? All right, let's throw some moon mission bullshit in the 60s, you know?
Right, this is going to be the 400th show. Can anyone think of a title?
I hate T-Mobile.
Can anyone think of a show title? It's going to be the...
Yeah, I hate T-Mobile.
Yeah, that's not a very catchy 400th show title, though.
Oh.
Yeah. Congratulations, damn.
Wishing Arwin all the luck in his new live Hangouts debate.
Yeah, it's not very flat earthy, though, either. These are all rubbish suggestions. I think I might just let the show roll and see where we go from there. Hopefully we'll come up with a title with the content that's actually produced.
You could just do something like Flat Earth 10, Cavendish 0.
But it's show 400, isn't it? So
how about Flat Earth 400, Cavendish 0?
Well, tides was mentioned and discussed, wasn't it?
That was on the last one.
Shows,
that was on
no
399 though.
Proof. 400 shows and still no ball proof.
Flat Earth Debate 400 live, still no ball proof.
Yeah. Show me some ball. Need to see the ball. Hi,
This quantum eraser.
What's that?
Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, Nathan?
Not too bad. I'll give you a second before I adjust your mic because it tends to drop after a second or two.
Yeah, I'm not on my headphones, so I'm going a birthday suit.
Oh, like PC mic.
Yeah, PC mic. Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to continue to talk so you can get my mic right? Hello. What's that?
You're good
Pagan
now. That's all good.
Pagan religion, art, and mythology, floating that as science. Good.
I'm not paying attention. I'm doing other things to set the live show up. I'm going to start now. Sorry. I will say hello to
No,
everyone.
we're good. We're good.
We're going to do housekeeping as well. So
Okay.
check.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to the 400th episode of Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video once it is rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below the video to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by The Plain Truth, Ranty Flat Earth, Sleeping Warrior, Mark Doxy, Jose, John, CGI Ranty, and Lair Bear. Good to have you all.
Everybody, hello.
Beep, beep.
Congratulations, happy 400. Ballers got no balls.
You got no proof of ball. That's for sure.
Nathan, you got 7 thumbs down before you finished your intro. That tells you a lot.
Excellent stuff. Right, we're going to do housekeeping, absolutely certainty, because it's the 400th show. It would be rude not to, so we'll take it nice and slowly. Any signs of Earth-based curvature, gentlemen?
No.
I'll answer at once.
Nope.
Mix.
No, Mark's on the show. Hopefully he's still got his mic.
No signs of curvature.
Yeah, that's a
Have you
disappointment.
checked the ISS live feed?
The ISS live feed?
There'll be lots of curve there.
Wow.
Well,
If you include CGI.
yeah.
Or fisheye.
No, I'm hoping someone will address that.
There is no curvature to be found without CGI or a fisheye.
But the
According
ISS...
According to Kent Hovind, you've got to get 50 miles above the Earth to see the curve.
Well, hang on a second. Lair Bear is very good at making some globehead arguments. So far I've heard that we can see the curve from the ISS. Well, is that true? Can I go there and have a look at curve?
You can't see the curve, but you can see a curve.
A curve.
That makes sense?
Well, is it showing Earth-based curvature or not?
No, it's a fisheye lens.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no good.
That's the only way you'll get a curvature.
Fair enough.
I was being
that's
facetious.
Yeah, that's no, not at all. If there's signs of curvature, we definitely want to hear about them. But if you're asserting that this has already been debunked by the basis of having fisheye lenses, then I'm more than happy to accept that, because that's very much true. I've seen it on multiple occasions, for certain. Any other signs of curvature? No? Anybody? I said take it slow, maybe not this slow. Right, we'll move on then. Any signs of axial rotation? hangout been kicked? Has the hangout ended? Has everyone gone?
No, we're still here.
We're just pulling your leg.
Ugh, bastards.
Just bored.
Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety just for you, Ranty?
No.
No.
CGI, Ranty?
Nope.
No? Nothing? No?
Well, have you heard of the, what is it, laser circle gyroscope?
The ring laser gyro?
Ring laser gyroscope.
I have heard of a ring laser gyroscope. What of the ring laser gyroscope?
Well, I thought maybe you'd want to delve into it because I've had some ball lovers argue against me with that.
Oh, right.
I didn't have time to research it, but I did look at some of it.
So, let me guess. They would say something along the lines of, if we have a sphere Earth, we will see a 15-degree drift in a ring laser gyro. We see a 15-degree drift in the ring laser gyro, therefore we have a sphere Earth. Would it be something along those lines?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
When they linked in a technical aeronautic link, and from what I've seen, it was attached to the plane, and I don't see how it calculated Earth curvature.
Well, no.
Do you have any understanding of that?
Well, I do understand that it doesn't have any validity because it's yet another affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. So you have to presuppose that it's proving a spherical Earth to begin with, or that we have a spherical Earth to begin with, and then you take the measurement and say that that's caused by the sphere Earth that it's on. Of course, because we've assumed we're on a sphere to begin with. So, like most of these arguments, the equal and opposite is also true for the globe Earth side. You know, they're saying it's caused by something, therefore ether. And you go, well, no. It's not, you've not isolated that as the cause. You've not isolated that there is ether. You know, it's the same. I can have the same argument with them and say, well, no, you're just assuming that there's ether, and then saying that this is the cause of that turning. So it works both ways, unfortunately, for the flat earthers that want to take either or, a mechanical not spinning or a ring laser or optical gyro, spinning. Both have to have an insertion of a presupposition if you want it to say that it proves anything.
Right, I didn't know if it was a frame of reference issue because the device is attached to a plane that's flying. So any turn, I don't know how that would prove a curvature on the Earth. Am I missing something?
Anybody?
For future argument's sake, that's why I'm asking.
You'd think there'd be a baller jumping on going, yeah, this makes total sense because... No? Anybody? Surely.
Well, yeah, you just have to start crayon munching and window licking in between your arguments, like your transitions.
With that, I think I'll move on to the self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. Any signs of that, gentlemen?
Rumpus tried explaining his way out of it in the last show. Didn't make any sense. He was talking about the metals had to be molten, which proved that they could create an electromagnetic force. But we all know that electric isn't generated when it's past its Curie point, so he fails.
You're saying Rumpus was on the last show?
Indeed.
Was.
What was he parroting?
Well, he was
Pagan
saying that...
religitard mythology from Wiki as science?
Well, no, he said that we were observing the phenomena of torsion bar twist in the Cavendish experiment.
Really?
That was our observed phenomena, according to him.
Yeah, I see those every day when I walk out in the woods.
What I said, naturally observed torsion bar twist. And according to him, when I asked him to give us the independent variable, he said that the independent variable was radius.
Makes perfect sense.
Can you, because Rumpus didn't get that far before he started demanding that you can have multiple variables, so I had to take him in baby steps to take him through validation or invalidation of a hypothesis, and then using another separate second variable. In other words, you've done one test with your one variable. It's passed or failed. Obviously, if you're moving on, it's failed. So you then start with another different variable to see if that causes it, right? But he was saying, no, you can have multiple variables. That's what he's trying to assert with the Cavendish experiment, at least.
Multiple independent variables.
Yes, multiple independent variables. That's right. Amazing, isn't it?
That's a good one. That's a good one. And then what do? We just, I don't know, put them all in a hat and then pick one, or do we look in our crystal ball? Call Mystic Meg.
I think the preferred method was actually just assume one's true first. That's the preferred method, I think.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, that's the best method I find. You know, if I wanted to prove a ball, the best way to prove it is to demand anybody I speak to immediately assume that they are on a ball to begin with. And then we go from there. That's the best way. So I've found.
Ah, that's the cornerstone of pagan mythology. So
Absolutely.
He's being consistent.
Yeah, that's it. At least they're consistent in their religious views. You can't knock them. They've got to have the faith. So, what about... Did I do gravity already? I don't think I did. Any signs of gravity?
Which one?
Yeah, take your pick. Don't mind if you like proving Einsteinian bending of space-time or Newtonian objects of masses attracting one another. I don't mind. Whichever you like. Any signs of gravity?
I don't want to take over the show. Let other people chime in.
Anybody got any signs of gravity? Anybody at all? Cavendish is definitely not that. If radius, then torsion bar.
Actually, I did see a guy drop a microphone on TV.
Any signs of gravity?
The microphone fell.
Oh, right. That was actually an answer to that question. Oh, my bad. I totally didn't get that. I just thought you were randomly asserting something about what you'd watched on telly. Tell us all about how that's proof of gravity. I'd love to know.
Well, this dude was rapping about gravity, and his proof was he held the microphone up and dropped it on the ground. And the audience rejoiced.
That's deep.
You didn't see that one, I'm guessing. That one did make it to the UK?
Oh, it did make it to the UK. I remember seeing Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is a pseudoscientist, dropping a microphone, but of course he had to pick it up first. The cause and effect was him picking it up.
Hey Nathan, I want to make probably a correction here. We keep on saying Newtonian gravity. I think we may be insulting him a little bit because he didn't believe in that fairy tale. So it's more or less, I know I say it, I do it all the time. I don't think we should attribute it to him because it's actually Cavendish gravity.
But it's got his name.
Yeah, they superimposed his name over it because Cavendish doesn't have that ring to it, I think. You know, I don't think the man ever existed. I'm talking about Cavendish, but they put Newton on it so they could like force veracity onto it. So, but Newton didn't believe in that in gravity at all. He even said so. So, just want to make that
I think
clear.
you made a good
He didn't
point.
believe in gravity.
AP.
Yeah, that's correct.
Why do you think the planets move faster the closer they are to the sun, and then they slow down as they move away from it?
What does that have to do with Newton believing in gravity?
Because the reason that they do that is because of gravity.
Which gravity?
What do you mean, which gravity?
That was the start of this conversation, P. You were here for it. So there's Newtonian, or what John is saying would be more preferentially labelled Cavendishian gravity, or Einsteinian gravity. So just to summarise the two, you've got the bending of space-time, the current accepted gravity, or you've got sorry, I have to do it. Newtonian gravity, objects of mass attracting one another. So which of the two are you talking about?
The one I would be talking about would be Newtonian.
Oh, that's not that's been debunked by Einsteinian though. That's a bit of a problem then.
It hasn't though.
Has it not?
They're not mutually exclusive.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Newtonian gravity is a force. Einsteinian gravity is not a force. They're not even in the same geometry. Newtonian gravity is in Euclidean 3 space. Einsteinian gravity speaks to pseudo-Riemannian 4 space. Newtonian gravity is instantaneous actions at a distance. Einsteinian gravity is limited to the speed of light. Beach balls and Bunsen burners have more in common than Newton's and Einstein's fairy tales. Thank you.
That's just silly.
Good response. Excellent rebuttal.
Well, it's totally silly. It's just nonsense. So I don't know how I'm.
I think at that point, John, you've been debunked, so we can move on. It's just
not
silly,
been
John.
debunked. Nothing's been debunked.
What can you conclude about gravity looking at the lights in the sky, Pete?
Can you repeat that, Jose?
Can you make any conclusions about gravity just by looking at the celestial bodies like the sun, the moon, the stars, planets?
Of course, the moon doesn't crash into the Earth because of gravity.
Sorry, can you expand on that? My understanding based on
we have like satellites orbiting the Earth, and the moon orbits the Earth, and it doesn't fall into the Earth because of gravity.
That's deep, man.
Hold on. You've just said it's Newtonian gravity that you're referring to, which is fine. But wouldn't that mean that they would, i.e. they'd be pulled towards each other?
Eventually.
But you've just said they wouldn't. You've literally just completely contradicted yourself in one word.
No, I haven't contradicted myself. The gravity causes the orbit, which... Cause things fall down, Nathan, right?
Sorry,
and the moon is
orbit.
Up in the sky.
Sorry, what's
Why
an
isn't
orbit?
the moon falling down towards the Earth? Well,
I
it
just need
technically
clarity on
is
one word,
falling
P.
down
Sorry,
towards
P.
the
I'm really
Earth,
sorry to interrupt.
But it's falling in an orbit. Well, stop interrupting me, Jesus.
Because I don't understand the word you're using. What's an orbit? What's an orbit?
Orbit is a regular repeating path that one object in space takes around another one. An object in orbit is called a satellite. The satellite can be natural.
No, I'm not asking about a satellite. Hold on, P. Just orbit.
Or it can be artificial, like the ISS.
P, I'm not asking about satellites. Just what is an orbit?
A regular repeating path that one object takes in space around another one.
So, what's it in reference to here? I thought we were talking about celestial bodies. I still don't. What's the reference? Why have we got orbits?
Okay, so they put satellites into orbit based on math that uses gravity and Newton's equations, right?
Still not answering my question though. Why are you asserting orbits? Why have we got orbits suddenly? I don't understand.
We have objects orbiting the Earth, like the moon, or satellites.
So you've just said that the orbit means that it
Tesla
circles.
car.
But you've just told me that orbits means it's circling around the other thing in space.
No, I said an orbit is a regular repeating path that one object takes in space around another object.
Right. So you're saying the moon travels around a spherical Earth?
Yes.
Why? Why would you assert this?
What? What do you mean?
I mean, why are you just telling us that we've got orbits?
Well, you guys know that we have orbits.
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking you about it. You're the one who asserted orbits.
Oh. Things orbit the Earth.
Yeah, you've said that, and I'm asking, why are you just asserting this? Why do we have orbits? Why do we suddenly have things traveling around?
I'm asserting things orbit the Earth because things orbit the Earth.
That's an excellent reply, equal to your last reply that stuff was just silly. Thank you, P. You're a credit to the debate.
You're welcome. This debate is a credit to itself.
We have unicorns.
This is the most credible debate I've ever been a part of.
We have unicorns,
Derp, can I
P.
ask you a question?
We have unicorns, P. Do you accept this?
What do unicorns have to do with anything?
Well, you're just asserting we have orbits, so I'm just asserting we have unicorns. Why not? We can just assert stuff, right?
You don't think we have things orbiting the Earth?
You don't think we have unicorns? What kind of idiot are you?
I'm a special kind of idiot.
Well, you are if you don't think we've got unicorns.
What kind of idiot are you?
No truer words have ever been said.
So,
Are you in the Princess Bride?
I can assert unicorns, and because you can't debunk it, you must accept it. Okay? I can chuckle because I know they're not real. Did you hear that? Hopefully not. So yeah, we got unicorns. We got unicorns. Like we got orbits. Did I say so?
We can watch the ISS fly across the moon with the P900.
Across the moon? Doesn't really prove orbits, does it? I don't really get how that proves an orbit, P. Goes across the sky? That's above me.
I wasn't trying to prove an orbit.
But that's what I'm asking.
Are you trying to prove orbits? Do you want me to prove orbits to you?
Yes, please. That's specifically what my question was. I first asked what are orbits, then I asked why you were
I would
asserting
suggest
it.
you do your own research, because you can't just listen to someone on a Google Hangout like me tell you that things orbit the Earth. You have to go research that for yourself.
Best thing you've said to date. That is absolutely superb. Don't take P's word for it about orbits existing and that us having orbits. Don't take my word for it that we've got unicorns. Go out and research for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do research. The audience can go research and they can decide for themselves.
Excellent.
If satellites
can you advise
and orbits
me?
Are real.
How can I see how I can see this orbit that you describe? How do I go out and research that? See it for myself specifically. How do I see that?
I think that's up to you, Nathan. That's
I don't think there
not
are
my
orbits.
job.
I
It's not my
I don't
job
know
to
what
make
orbits
you
are.
believe in something.
It's up to me.
Is it?
It's up to me.
Is it
didn't
my
know
job
what
to
orbits
prove
were
that
till 5
cars
seconds
exist?
ago.
I can't prove cars exist, but surely
can.
you believe in cars.
I can prove cars exist. I know that they exist.
How do you prove a car exists?
A unicorn would be a better example.
Can you
I can
please
just
prove
assert
a car
unicorns,
exists to
right?
me right
I can
now?
just assert unicorns, P. Right? Up until
Prove
5
a
minutes
car
ago,
exists.
orbits weren't being talked about. The word orbit had never crossed my lips on this show. You said orbits, and then I asked, what are orbits? You told me, and then I said, well, why would you assert that we've got them? And you went, because we've got them. It's up to you to go out and research better. I'm like, well, how can I go and research them? Tell me what you did to prove to yourself that we've got orbits then. You've done the research, right?
What I did to prove to myself?
Yes.
I think videos of telescopes capturing satellites in orbit around the Earth.
Oh, cool! You took some video of satellites. You took some satellite video of it going around the Earth. Cool. You did that, did you?
Other people did.
Oh no! I want to do what they did. So have you not done it?
No, I don't.
What happened to going out and doing your own research? So you're just trusting a man on the internet? So back to unicorns then. I say unicorns. I say unicorns. Man on internet shows unicorns. So unicorns are real. Do you want me to get you a video of unicorns?
I think it depends. Okay, this is. Do you want me to explain how to do research to you?
No, I want you to explain how I can observe orbits.
That's what we want. Your method. Yeah.
No, orbits. Orbits. How do I see orbits?
So you look for like valid sources, and the more sources that confirm something, the better chance that there's truth to it, right? That's basically what I do.
What do you mean by confirm? I mean,
if multiple sources say the same thing,
just say the same thing, right? Yeah, that's
it's okay.
That's a technique the elite use to lie to people. So I mean, it's not 100%.
I understand. So how many unicorn videos do you need?
Well, the elite actually have a number of. They know how many times they have to reproduce something through like magazines or various media to get people to believe it. They actually did research on that. They spent a lot of money researching human psychology to manipulate and control us.
But an example of that kind of manipulation could be orbits, though, right?
It could be orbits, but the problem is private enterprises put satellites in orbit around the Earth, so it's not something that's constricted to like a small group of people.
I've got it at private enterprise. Hold on, I've got
it's not really like compartmentalized.
Hold on. I've got an import-export business specifically specializing in unicorns, P.
Okay.
Right. So unicorns are real then. I've got a business that relates to it. So that makes it
why
real.
do you think cars are real?
Because I've seen them, I've driven one, I've got a driving license, I've owned several cars, I've driven all over the world. Any other crap examples? So back to my example. We've got two things. Neither have proof. One is orbits, one is unicorns. Now you think I'm descending it into farce with unicorns. I think you're descending it into farce with orbits.
Yeah, having a discussion with this crayon muncher is get him out of here.
I don't think it's a fair comparison.
In here with at least, some semblance of coherency, please.
Because there isn't any evidence that unicorns exist, but there is evidence that satellites exist. So
excellent.
I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Not satellites. I didn't. You keep changing it to satellites, orbits, not satellites.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Same thing. I think there's more evidence of orbits existing than unicorns, so I don't think that's a fair comparison.
All right. Well, just two things that we both assert exist that so far you just say there's proof of it. Well, just tell me what the proof is.
Well, I mean, you have to explain why the moon isn't falling into the Earth. Well, the ball Earth side, they have gravity to explain it in orbits, so...
I have to explain why the moon isn't falling. Really? Mm-hmm. Is that so? Okay. I don't.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want my explanation? There's a very simple explanation.
I mean, not really. I'm just pointing out.
You asked for it. Come on, you asked for it. I'll give you my explanation. The unicorn farts are much lighter than any other gas, and they levitate the moon. Simple. Obviously, you've got to accept that unicorns exist first, but yeah, the unicorn farts.
That's what flat earthers do. Like, they come up with ad hoc hypothesis ad infinitum.
Oh, like orbits, you mean?
To keep denying reality.
Like orbits, for instance.
Yeah, like you can't believe in orbits or gravity.
Believe?
So
I'm asking you to prove them. What do you mean? Why do I need to believe in them? Why can't you just show me them? Why do I need to go and find research on the internet and watch videos about it? Why can't I just go and look at them myself? What's so special about them that I can't see them? Why do I have to trust somebody else? I don't get it, Pete.
There's nothing wrong with belief. You should have you can have a justified belief in gravity.
You can also have a just so story. You can justify your belief in unicorns if you want to. I don't want to. I don't want to justify belief. I'd just like you to prove it. Prove orbits.
There's no way you can prove anything to you because you said yourself that the only evidence you will accept, you have to be basically launched into space on a rocket, so you don't accept any evidence.
Would that be something that we can do?
I don't know, maybe in the future.
Oh, so no then. So you're saying I won't accept something I can't do? Well, that seems reasonable.
I don't think it's very reasonable because if you have to do everything yourself, it makes it hard to like be productive in life. Imagine, your body has like functions that you're not conscious of, involuntary functions. Like you breathe when you're sleeping at night, but you're not aware that you're breathing when you're sleeping at night. You don't control your heartbeat. Imagine if you had to control all your body functions. That's like what you guys are, where you have to do every experiment yourself and see everything for yourself. Like if you're not gonna use mankind's knowledge, it's just, I don't understand. Like I think it's a weakness.
Hold on, we've just gone from belief to knowledge. Why is there suddenly a transition to it being knowledge? I don't understand.
You think there's a difference between belief and knowledge?
Yeah, I don't believe in unicorns. I have a knowledge of cars.
Knowledge is a type of belief.
I don't believe in cars. I have a knowledge of them. I know cars.
That's just silly semantics. Knowledge is technically a type
just
of
stating
belief.
facts. Just stating facts. I have no belief in cars. I'm definite about them. I've touched them, worked on them, driven them. Lots of them. There's no belief involved. They are what they are. Back to orbits. Do I need belief for them? Yes, I do. I don't want that belief. I'd like you to just prove it. If you're saying there's too much stuff to do to find proof for yourself, well, that's a bit suspicious. So how do I prove it? Well, you trust these dudes over here. Oh, right. No, thank you.
Plato famously defined knowledge as justified true belief.
He was a philosopher.
Yeah, who may or may not have existed, right?
All right, we're not interested in philosophy. We're more interested in the natural world.
I don't think you are though, because
you're just telling me I've got to believe
much research.
Sorry, you've just told me that I've got to believe that the world is A, a sphere, and B, things travel around it. And I'm saying, no, I'm not going to believe that. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you were asking for evidence of gravity, and I pointed out how when the planets are orbiting the sun in the heliocentric model, they increase in speed when they are closer to the sun, and they slow down as they move away. And, you know, that lines up with our theories on how gravity would affect the planets. And then, you know, gravity is also keeping the moon in orbit on the Earth and all the satellites that fly around it. So yeah, I think that's pretty strong evidence right there. But
in my model,
you know, if you haven't done research, you don't know what orbit means.
Sure. Have you done the research into my Lamborghini and Ferrari and my Porsche in my GTA 5 model?
Yeah, Fanny Lancer exposed that video.
Sorry, so you've seen my Ferrari and my Porsche and my Lamborghini.
Yeah, you're using all the money you make from this to buy them.
No, sorry, I'm talking about in the GTA 5 model.
If you were a sphere earther, you wouldn't be making as much money, and you couldn't afford those cars.
You said in my model, the heliocentric model, and then you detailed it, right? So I'm detailing a different model. It's called Grand Theft Auto 5, right? Do you understand?
No, he might get it.
Do you care more about the truth or money?
Sorry, I've got a model, and my model is called Grand Theft Auto 5. Are you familiar with this model of reality?
Should we do some experiments in Grand Theft Auto 5?
Sorry, we're not. Sorry, no. We're not talking about experiments. Heaven forbid. We're talking about models. This is definitely not experimental. That would be science. We're talking about philosophy and models. P. Why would you change it to science? Because I can very easily say, what's your independent variable? If we're going to be talking about science. But we don't need to do that. Because we're not talking about science. Let's just get that absolutely clear.
I thought it'd be fun to use Grand Theft Auto 5 to do some experiments on seeing what like a perspective would look like on a flat plane.
Did you not just hear me? This is not science. It is not experiments. It's just a game. A model called GTA 5. So, do you accept my model?
Yes, I accept it.
Oh, right. Then you're an idiot because that's not the real world, P. It's just a model. I don't really have a Ferrari. I don't even own a car.
Same, dude.
So, my model doesn't prove I've got a Ferrari, but your model does prove we've got orbits. That doesn't make any sense. If your model proves orbits, then where's my Ferrari?
I can't prove we have orbits. I think you have to prove it to yourself and do the research yourself.
I trusted you, and you've come through with the goods. You can't prove orbits. Well done, P. Excellent concession. Much better than Jimmy.
I don't think you can prove anything.
Really? We have a method for proving cause and effect relationships. Do you know what that method's called?
The scientific method?
Yeah. So we can prove things. It's amazing. Science, bitches. You hear me, Globeheads? This is your champion. Globe's just going to die. Because this is the best they've got to offer. And we just stamp all over this crap. At the moment, it's not only being stamped on, it's being stamped on quite leisurely. With us sort of chuckling along.
Nathan, but Pete, learn the mainstream science explanations. You gotta believe in, you know that, right?
Well, apparently, Jose, the media know already that they've only got to tell you a certain thing a certain number of times and you'll believe it regardless. So, I don't know where I heard that. You ever heard that, P?
Well, I agree. Like, people are pretty brainless and they just mindlessly believe whatever the media tells them.
Like orbits.
I try to be open-minded. It's really hard because we're all biased, right? But I try to research without prejudice. I don't think I do, but I do my best. I don't know. I think it's really hard to tell the truth in this society because there's like so much propaganda, like flat Earth videos.
This is a flat Earth video.
Yeah, all the flat Earth videos. Like initially, I thought the Earth was flat, right? Because I fell for the propaganda techniques and tricks that the flat Earthers use in their videos. But when I really looked into what they said and did research and was honest with myself, I feel like things like there's nothing wrong with the Cavendish experiment, like flat Earthers claim, and it proves gravity to me.
Sorry,
it proves mass attracts mass.
Would you accept that Rumpus has a good understanding of this, or do you think he's a complete idiot that doesn't understand science? Which one would you say is true?
I think Rumpus is a complete idiot.
He is a complete idiot. He doesn't.
I can't even really
science.
Listen to him because
me too. He gave his dependent variable in the Cavendish
I pretty
experiment.
much change the channel when I hear his voice.
Sure. He gave the dependent variable as a torsion bar twist. A two-dimensional delusion. How you doing? Can you hear us? Hello.
Seems like a dodgy account.
Two-dimensional delusion. Gonna get a hello out of you, or are you gonna kick everyone on the panel? Still got everyone?
So far.
We're all still here.
Cool. Yeah, so P. Yeah, you go ahead, Anthony.
I was just going to ask you a question when you were saying about doing your own research. I was just wondering, have you ever done your own research into where they got the radius of the Earth calculation from, measurements from?
From the shadows, right? They measured shadows at different points.
Some bloke sticking sticks in the ground, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember his name?
No, I don't.
You don't know? Stuck sticks in the ground and declared it a sphere, and you accept that, right?
You know, I've been looking at the shadows the sun makes at sunset and sunrise, and I don't know. It doesn't really look like the Earth is flat. I'll tell you that, judging by the shadows. I think you can tell things.
Are you trying to tell
from
me
them.
that you can't tell the shape of the Earth from shadows? You're not trying to tell me that.
I think you can.
Can't tell the shape of the Earth.
Like, I don't understand the math behind it. I don't understand trigonometry. They use trigonometry, I believe, right, to do it. So, I mean, I don't know.
Which type of trigonometry?
Me,
which type of trigonometry do they use, P?
I don't know.
Anybody going to tell him what type of trick they'd use?
No, hang on. I'm pretty sure he knows. Come on, P. You can do better than that. You know what trigonometry that they use to calculate these sticks in the ground shadow.
What is it? Planar? Is it planar trigonometry? I don't know.
Yeah.
He don't know, but he heard it, so he's right.
Calculated that we got to a sphere, the trigonometry, right? That's so, Pete, if I sat on the ground and put a couple of sticks in the ground and declared that it was flat, would you accept
that? Well, no, because like you're some guy, right? Like I don't know.
So who was the bloke that did it again then? What was his name,
I
Pete?
guess I appeal to authority.
Yeah. Bit of
I
a
think
flaw with
I
doing
think I know. I think I know. Error tosser knees.
Oh, you weren't meant to say it, John. We were testing P. Testing his research skills to see if he's studied stuff himself.
Sorry.
So Aristotle
I don't know.
declared it a sphere.
I don't have like a photographic memory. I can't recall everything I've read.
Oh, okay. So some
No,
bloke
No,
in the ground.
it's error tosser knees.
Yeah, I wonder where the tosser came from. Oh, by the way, let me just say something. Nathan, we need to tell the American guys how to pronounce the word bollocks, because they all mispronounce it as bullocks. They put a U in there when there's an O. So people from America, B-O is bollocks. And let's
That's
get the
bollocks.
pronunciation right.
That's
Bollocks.
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 That's bollocks.
No, not bullocks. Bullocks an animal. Bollock.
You're talking bullocks, bro.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, Nathan, was True Blue. You know that 15, 16-year-old kid?
Oh, Blue Marble.
Sorry, Blue Marble.
True Blue makes him sound like a porn movie.
I listened back to
Breaking up.
someone basically being funny with him because you scared of him.
Missed all of
Anthony,
that.
your microphone's breaking up.
Remote broke up. Try it all again.
So I just want to him in GeoStreamer's Hangout, and he was massively. And I was just wondering, he thinks that you're scared of him, and I was just wondering if you'd explain to him like a babe that he can't think. That's what he's telling.
What do you want me to do? I understand what he wants. Does anybody understand what he wants? Can someone paraphrase?
Breaking up big time. Maybe Blue Marble say you are afraid of him, that you cannot accept him.
That's lovely.
I want you to explain. Yeah, I want you to explain to Blue Marble personally, one-to-one.
Anthony, it sounds like somebody's trying to drown you.
I want you to explain to
Take
Blue
your head
Marble
out
why
of the
it is that
toilet.
you can't call him
Anthony, fall back out and come back in,
joke,
man. Your
'cause he
your
thinks
mic's a
it's because
train
you're
wreck.
scared.
Anthony. There you go.
Hey, can I ask Derp a question?
Go ahead.
Is his name Pete?
P, just the letter P.
Okay, well, are you there, Pete?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, if some dude 2,000 years ago, say Aristophanes, did a shadow experiment that allowed him to calculate the circumference of the Earth,
Oh, hello.
but it also showed that the sun was 3,000 or 4,000 miles away, would you accept both those conditions that resulted from the trigonometry?
Yeah, no, they got the distance to the sun wrong. I don't really understand the experiment. Like, I don't understand really how the shadows, they got the radius or the distance from the sun. Like, I don't really understand it. But
Well, it's not an experiment to begin with, so that's the first problem.
Nobody's really sure if he even conducted the experiment. The records burned up in Alexandria, I think. It could be a fable, for all we know.
No, it's not an experiment to begin with, and even if he did it, it wouldn't have been an experiment. So there you go.
So it's bullocks, is what you're saying.
Yeah, bollocks. Anthony, how's your mic?
I think he's on the phone. While he's doing that, the reason it's not scientific is because if you want to call something an experiment, then an experiment in science is the expression of a hypothesis. And a hypothesis is your prediction for the experiment. They are very much intertwined. And a hypothesis has a very set structure. You are establishing your independent variable, the cause of the effect, which is the phenomena, the dependent variable, and that is science. You formulate a hypothesis that says, if I am correct and it is the cause, this will be the effect. If I am not correct, and it is not the cause, you won't get that effect. And when you do your systematic experimentation, you validate or invalidate whether or not your prediction was correct, whether or not your presumed cause was the cause or not. And if it's not, then you can move on to something else, another independent variable, the bit that Rumpus just couldn't understand on show 399. He thinks that an independent variable isn't singular because he needs it to be for the validation of the Cavendish experiment, which isn't an experiment. And it's the same with Eratosthenes. It's not an experiment. Needs a little violin at the end of that for all the ballers who think it is. It's an experiment.
It's from the body of science.
Big shout out to 787 GENX. Thanks for the super chat. He was one of your contributors, by the way, Ranty, if you're still there, to your P900, P1000, I should say.
Oh, right, sorry. No, yeah, I am still here.
He had a Russian surname that he spelt out phonetically for us. Do you remember?
I do, yeah.
I can't remember his name. I'm going to try to remember. Hopefully it'll come back to me. I'm really sorry. Thank you for the super chat. I do recognise you and I will remember your name in time, but because we're running live, I'm just under pressure and can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm really sorry, but thank you very much for the contribution. Thanks for the contribution to Ranty's GoFundMe. He's ordered the camera. I don't know if you were in the chat earlier, but he showed exactly that. He showed him ordering the camera.
Yep, receipts, etc. So hopefully be here by the 7th of next month. Fingers crossed.
Less than a month. Awesome.
Yeah, I've actually just made I've just bought a domain, rantyflatearth.com. It's not, there's nothing on it yet, but it's just there for an email address. So if anybody needs to contact me, because I don't think YouTube is actually, sending messages anymore. So if anyone needs to contact me, it's ranty at rantyflatearth.com.
Cool. Very slick.
I've also made a Facebook under Ranty Flat Earth, so you can go and find me on there. Add me. I'll be making a Facebook group as well. I think I'm going to call it Rants Flat Earth Group. So if you want to try and find me on there and add yourself to the group, you're more than welcome. I'm actually making it at the minute.
You're doing quite a lot of stuff, Ranty.
I know, busy bee. Networking, you see.
Excellent. My hat is off to you.
Proactive. Like I say, I was looking around YouTube and I was seeing that there were so many other flat earthers out there with 600, 700, 800 subscribers that I've never heard of, and they've never popped up in my feed before. And suddenly they popped up, and they've been around the scene for the past 18 months or 2 years, and it's like, how come we never get to see these people? It seems like YouTube is segregating us in some way. There must be an algorithm that keeps us from finding these people. But I have come across a few recently, so I'm thinking that there's probably an awful lot more out there. So maybe creating a Facebook group where we can network better and get to connect with each other better. Then we can obviously start collating all our evidence as well, because they are doing great stuff.
Do you mean on Facebook in general?
Well, no, I mean on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
On YouTube, I've found several flat earthers that are with the P900s and doing, with programs, CGI programs where they can actually recreate the effects of mirroring and stuff like this. I mean, these guys have been doing this work for the past year and a half. We never hear about these guys. Where have they come from? How have we missed them?
Well, I'm hoping, Ranty, I know, hopefully in collaboration with what you're doing, one of the reasons I say share the show isn't just because I want, at the moment it seems like I'm saying that just because I want more ballers to come in, but now it's kind of calmed down. There's less and less ballers coming in and their arguments are increasingly poor. There may be more flat earthers that come onto the panel to say, I've got this to present, and show it. Because it's just a useful platform for somebody that's got a channel with a video and maybe 100 subs or less. And they think, well, how am I going to get the information out? And, you know, there's people like Block for Block who've come on the channel and subsequently grown their channel a bit because they've come on. And that's how you get to, hopefully, you know, build an audience. You collaborate, and essentially, because this is a public show, you don't have to ask permission to collaborate. You just immediately come on and say, I've got this, have a look, it's ace. So I'm hoping that would, you know, at some stage, not when the panel's 8 ballers and me, but now it seems to be the other way around. You know, it's a much more calm affair, ripping apart these arguments.
And of course, it's obviously it is growing and it's expanding. I think, like I say, finding these different flat Earth group niches or whatever on YouTube, where other people are commenting there that I've never heard of before. I've never seen these names commenting before, and they're actually leaving nice comments. I mean, some of these guys, they've got 700 or 800 subscribers. They have maybe 30 or 40 videos out over the past year and a half, and positive, it's like 45 likes, 2 dislikes. It's like, it's not like what we get. You know, I feel that the trolls sort of like follow us, and maybe we're just a magnet to keep the trolls away from the other flat earthers doing their little thing somewhere else, you know, because we seem to get the worst of it here. But for whatever reason, they have been able to navigate YouTube with seemingly very few trolls.
Yeah.
So I want to get them here.
They've stuck with me like flies around dog dirt.
I blame Anthony Riley for that.
No
yes.
way. Well, yeah. Slice Barcane was hassling me from my very first video. My favourite troll, Sly.
Sly the liar.
He's the best. He's the best clown in the Ball Earth circus.
He is. And do you know what? No, I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. Yeah, we've had a bit of a back and forth last week or so, and essentially him and Sean Hufford, the two. I mean, I've never really experienced or been on the other side of it like Anthony has before. When he's saying that, oh, they lie and they twist, and you know, I can't understand why he was getting so agitated about it. But then when it's happened to me, and I've actually been on the receiving end of it too, and they're not just lying. I mean, they're blatantly twisting everything, and I can understand why you get so frustrated with it. And to be fair, I honestly thought about doing a complete series of videos about it. And you know, I thought at the end of the day, this is what they want. They want me to be bogged down making videos about them, rather than going and doing my research and doing videos about flat Earth. So it's not going to happen. I'm not going to get drawn into that. I'm not like Anthony, who'll keep responding every time you do a video or a hit piece. You can just keep telling your lies to all your audience, because that's essentially what it is. And people that have got half a brain cell will see through that. And if they don't, then it's more it saddens me more to know that they're indoctrinated, that they can't even spot a lie when they see it. And that is what they do. They twist.
I'm going to just do a quick couple of shout outs, Ranty. So the guy that contributed to your camera and just put $50 in my super chat, thanks again, was Michael Sekulovsky. Hope I've said that right. Hope my memory's good enough. Also, shout out to Michael Buck, who says, can Ranty post a list somewhere of more FE channels? So maybe that's the first task for your new page.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to be working on when I get this group up and running. So I've actually just made the group. It's called Rants, RANTS, Rants Flat Earth Group. It's on Facebook. So if you want to, send a request over there, if you feel like you want to join, more the merrier. Let's get this group up and running, and then we can just start collaborating on there. We can put these other channels on there. We can link them. Perhaps somebody will know their own Facebook account. We can actually bring them in as well. We need to start working together and stop being so spread apart. We're easy pickings when we're here, there, and everywhere, but as a collective group, we can be a lot more successful.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I remember about a year and a half ago doing an interview with Carly Sunshine, who at the time was extremely into Facebook and still is. And, it's a completely different world over there. I know you're talking about people who specifically make YouTube videos, but there's a good chance that most people are connected via Facebook. They're not necessarily connected at all by YouTube.
Yeah, I agree. Right, I'm gonna have to go, Nathan. I'm gonna go and pick the old lady up from work.
Fair enough.
And I'll leave you guys to it.
No worries.
Again soon. All right. I'll leave myself in the chat though, in case you've got a full panel now, haven't you?
Pretty much.
Okay. Speak to you in a bit.
Hey Nathan, can I ask you a question?
Which can?
Is there a way to play a video from my window on your stream?
Yeah, depending on what the video is, though. What is it?
Well, what I was going to do, we didn't have time, but you know how that dude was saying he saw the ISS go across the sky as a proof for satellite or whatever? I pulled up a video of that UFO in Jerusalem, and I was going to play that and ask him if, you know, he believes that's a UFO or a satellite or whatever. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, we'll stick it up as stills. Don't play it as a video because I'll just get a copyright strike. But yes, so if you've already got the video open, you hover your mouse over the Hangout page. You're on a PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, hover your mouse over the Hangout page, and then there's a green box on the left-hand side that'll appear. Second one down that says Screen Share. Just click that.
Okay.
And then a box will appear, and there's two tabs at the top of the box. One says, let's have a look, Application Window. Click on Application Window, and then find the window that's got the video in it.
Okay.
Then click Share.
No.
All right, share.
How do I put it in the application window? Can I?
Yeah.
I had to copy the URL. But...
No. So in the Hangout, you click on the green box inside the Hangout you're talking in.
Okay, I'm at the share your screen.
Yeah, and then click Application Window, the second tab on the right.
Yeah, I clicked it.
Then click whichever thing you want.
Okay, it just went to that tab.
And then click. You clicking it in that window though, yeah. So you find it on your scroll bar on that window. There should be your tab that you want.
Well, I just went to the tab with the video of the UFO over Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Do I have to copy the URL or anything?
No. So when you're at application, you just scroll down and you'll just find it. It'll be one of the pictures.
Okay. Let me see if that's it.
There we go. So now you've just shared your whole screen, but that's fine. If you bring up the tab. There you go.
That's not it. You don't see it, do you?
Yeah, we see what you're seeing. So you've got a video on now, yeah? No,
I see is a sunset or something.
Yeah, but that's because we see what you see. So you're now looking at the Hangout page. So you've just got to leave it on your video.
Sorry, this is my first stream.
It's okay.
Yeah, hey, that's no problem. But the question that you're going to ask this person, the person's not here. So,
yeah.
Still good. But yeah, just if you want to stick up a still of whatever it is you wanted to show it, just find the bit in the video and then pause it.
All right. Do you see the video playing right now?
Yeah. Just let me know.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of ballers try to say that the ISS is flying by, and that's proof of satellites, which I'm not necessarily sure that's the ISS station. It may be something that looks like it, but I'm not sure I believe they have an ISS up that high.
Oh, there's definitely a light in the sky.
There's definitely a what?
A light in the sky.
There's something there. It looks like it looks like an ISS, but
but an easy
there's
way
lots
to
of
do
stuff in the sky.
Listen, an easy way to do this, so you don't chase down fairy tales for from 6 a.m. to 9 o'clock in the evening. All you have to do is disprove the medium that these alleged fairy tales are taking place in. So they say, you know, satellites, the moon landings, anything regarding the vacuum of space. Just implode the vacuum of space. It doesn't exist. So just to disprove the medium, and it's really easy. Takes about a minute, and then end it right there. Right? Instead of wasting your time chasing down all their fairy tales or Wiki's fairy tale. Follow?
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, I believe the same thing you do. But when they say what is it, what are you going to tell them?
What is it?
Can I answer that?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, you don't need an explanation to smash theirs into oblivion.
True.
I'll give you an example. So if I say, we'll keep it to unicorns, right? But if I specifically say that unicorns exist in Narnia, yeah, and then you debunk Narnia, then you ipso facto debunk unicorns if I say they only exist in Narnia. So if you say satellites only exist in the vacuum of space, then you can debunk the vacuum of space, and then you automatically debunk any fairy tale that takes place in the vacuum of space. So this is why we have any signs of a pressurized system next to a vacuum, because by asking that question, we debunk space. That's why space very rarely comes up.
I agree completely. But there's P900 images showing something going across the sky.
Oh yeah.
I know I don't have to prove it. I'm just saying, what would that be?
It's a very good question. Beyond light in the sky, I don't have an answer, but I don't need one.
That's true. That's cool.
Yeah, my honest answer to that is what it seems to be a light in the sky, and I don't know what it is. Now, if they want to give me an explanation, I'll say good for you. If you believe it, okay, but I don't have to believe it, you know?
Yeah, if we're standing shoulder to shoulder looking at it, and we capture it, your thoughts on the North Pole? Anyway, I don't know. You never talk about the North Pole. I've never been there. Don't know anything about it. Anyway, completely lost my point because of ranty CGI. Yeah, in essence, debunking the medium, you basically shatter any illusions that anybody has about stuff that goes on in that medium, and 9 times out of 10 they'll try and use something from that medium itself. So it'd be like me saying, well, no, look, this tree from Narnia proves Narnia. Yeah? But if you debunk Narnia, the tree from Narnia doesn't need debunking. Neither does the unicorn. But that was what I was going to say. Sorry, Jose. If we're standing shoulder to shoulder and we're looking at the ISS go by, what can we say about it? We can say there's a light that goes past in the sky. Now, if you stood there and saw it doing a pattern, you could say there's a cyclical light in the sky, right? But what else can you say about it? Well, for any further information about that specific light in the sky, you go to a specific source and they tell you exactly what it is, and you just have to accept it. Well, you can debunk that explanation by asking about the pressurized system next to a vacuum. But from there on in, if they say, well, what is it then? You go, I don't know. It doesn't mean I have to accept your explanation for it, though. I've just debunked it.
So what you should say is, when they say, what is it, say, I don't know, but it's definitely not an ISS station at a certain altitude.
I wouldn't necessarily. There is a slim possibility that it is. So to say it isn't, it's a tough one, because there is something there. You've identified a light in the sky, and they also have a explanation for that you can't verify. So you can't 100% discount that is actually happening, but you can discount certain things about how it's happening. So you can orbit. of the space station you can debunk. You know, well, prove there's an orbit of it. Well, we see it go past in the sky. Yeah. Okay. Does that prove that we're on a sphere-shaped Earth with things going around it? No, of course not. So you can debunk that aspect. Same goes for the medium they say it travels in. They say it's in space. Well, how do you have a pressurised system next to a vacuum? Long pause later, you won't get an answer. You'll get told all sorts of things about gas pressure gradients, and you just ask, well, where do you get the gas pressure from? That's what we're asking. How do you have gas pressure next to a vacuum? Well, you've got pressure gradients. Yeah, where'd you get the gas pressure from? And so goes the baller trick of circling you around in a massive circle jerk indefinitely. But ultimately speaking, you debunk that medium by asking that question. So in terms of why is that light going across my field of vision in the sky, I don't know is a sufficient answer, because I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. But, I mean, you can't have a vacuum next to a pressurized system. The temperature is impossible, I believe. So it definitely couldn't be at the altitude they say. So it's safe to say that it couldn't be that, right?
I think so. Just the fact that we can see it alone debunks the distance that they claim. You know, it's about the size of a football field, and if you've ever been on a commercial airliner and looked down, you know, you won't be able to make out a football field. You know, not from 30,000 feet. So, what is it, 250 miles? No, you're not going to be able to see that. It's just stupid to assert that you would see it at that distance. It's ludicrous, in fact. But people just gobble it up. You know, yeah, oh yeah, of course. Football field size thing, 250 miles, no worries. Okay, really? It's all gone very quiet for the end of the 400th show. Mind ending on a quiet note.
All right, you heading out?
Yeah, I'm going to round out. We're slowly winding down this very, very relaxed 400th episode. Very pleased to have got this far in the debates.
Well, it was fun. Are you gonna? Do you do it every morning? Just in the mornings?
For you, yeah. I do occasionally make them later at the weekends, depending on what I'm doing. But yeah, daily at 2 p.m. UK time, about 9 a.m. East Coast time.
Okay, it's 10:47 here.
Yeah, a long way through the second show though, and I think the first show is about an hour and a half, and we're coming up on an hour and 10 for the second show. Unless anybody.
It's a very nice mellow show. Very nice mellow show, and the bowlers didn't even try to jump in and defend their bullshit.
No, amazing.
Yeah, that was weird.
Happy 400.
Has Wolfie ever been on here?
Has he, Al? No.
Has he? I had it out with him about a year or two ago.
He doesn't understand science. He's made that perfectly clear with a conversation he had with Spurs Schemo, which we had up on one of the shows, and we basically called him out as a science illiterate idiot. And yeah, that didn't really encourage him to come on. Not that he'd been on before.
That's true. He's either really stupid, a snake oil liar, or some combination of that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fair description, I would say. Snake oil salesman that's very deceptive and a little bit stupid.
Yeah, he's always got gadgetry and azimuthal gyro this and that. And you just can't do common sense shit, you know? Sorry.
That's all right. Wolfie's the one that's, if I'm right, I don't follow Wolfie, but people often mention him in various aspects, and correct me if I'm wrong, Wolfie's currently banging on about equatorial mounts as proof of globe. Yeah. Is that right? Is that him, yeah?
Yeah. So, that's him. The pilot down under, I call him.
Jaron sent me a clip of a video from Wolfie and said, "What's wrong with this picture?" I'm paraphrasing just because we're about to round out. But I watched the video, so I think it may very well be the first Wolfie video I've watched. Maybe not be, but yeah. Anyway, I watched this video, and he basically says that the equatorial mount proves the globe, and there's no begging the question involved. the mount doesn't beg the question. That was it. He says the mount isn't begging the question. And then he proceeds to beg the question and assume he's on a sphere whilst referencing it. And so I got back to Jerry and I was like, well, no, the mount's not begging the question. He is. And Jeremy was like, yeah, what an idiot. And I was like, yeah, what an idiot. It's just funny.
Yeah.
The way he phrases it, they're like, well, the mount's not begging any question. Like, no, you are.
Yeah, I got into him about that. I asked him, I said, well, would you get the same results if you had a shell or firmament or whatever rotating? And he just stopped talking.
That was the end of that
Inability to be
conversation.
objective is what a lot of them suffer from, like that guy earlier. Can't wipe the mental slate clean and start from scratch or something.
A presuppositional disorder. So Brandon Toy, thanks for the super chat. He says, happy 400th. You guys are doing fantastic work. And I think with that, I'll probably say first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. But if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!